Instead of repeating what has been pointed or shared by my predecessors, speakers, what are the challenges of ADRs, what are the issues connected therewith, I will take the opportunity to share what the Law and Justice Commission of Pakistan is doing in this regard. No doubt, expeditious disposal of the justice and cases is the mandate given by the Constitution. But at the same time, we should not be forgetful of the very issue that the justice is delivered by the justices, the judges. And they are not only tasked with the decision of the cases, but also they have to fight with the huge backlog as well. When I joined Law and Justice Commission as a secretary, and I have the honor to be the secretary to the National Judicial Policy Making Committee as well. The first assignments to convene the meeting of National Judicial Policy Committee. It is chaired by the Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan, and all the High Court justices are their members too. We do the data collection of the whole of the judicial system in terms of the judicial cases and the cases before the special courts. It happened in the first time of the history of LJCP and JPMC. The data was not presented in terms of statistics before the committee, but also there was an analysis of the data showing how much of the cases are pending at different levels of the courts, high courts and the district courts, the type of the cases which are requiring attentions, and since how long this backlog is being accumulated. There were a couple of proposals which were placed before the Honorable Committee, and one of the proposals was the institutionalize of the ADR mechanism in the country. Everybody has touched upon the issues of the Arbitration Act and the archaic nature of the laws. That is one aspect. But we are to keep in mind for 230 million population, there are only 3,000 number of judges which are trying their best to deliver justice in all the circumstances. Moving on, we did the mapping that we do have an ADR legal framework, but what were the challenges, issues associated with that framework? After the 18th Amendment, since justice service delivery is very much part of the provincial domain, and also for Islamabad is the Ministry of Law, which has to be was assigned the task to ensure the expeditious disposal of the cases, along with the judiciary as well. What we did the mapping of the existing legal framework on ADR. What we find, Punjab has a law, Islamabad has a law, Sindh has an amendment in CPC, KPK has a law, but the Balochistan does not have any law yet. So what is needed, what is the way forward? That legislation, which is an ever-evolving process, it will not deliver. We are now the time to move from the abstract to something concrete, and which is to develop the subordinate legislation in terms of the rules, in terms of the notification of the centers, in terms of developing mechanisms and procedures. Otherwise, we will not get the desired results. Next comes the engagement of having the human resource in terms of mediators, as pointed by my others distinguished speakers, panelists, neutrals, and except a couple of the provinces which have notified, the rest, including Islamabad, and the Lahore is done to yet. But I appreciate Islamabad High Court to take the initiative, and they are going to have training for the mediators too. And another role which is very important and required to be played is by the legal fraternity itself. They are to engage themselves, they are to extend their support for institutionalization of the ADR. Otherwise, this goal cannot be achieved by the judiciary or the executive alone. Then, the more important role is played by the public itself, the awareness. Unless and until the public knows the laws exist, the institutional structure has been provided, the mediators are there. Until then, we cannot have success. What about the public? Without naming, one of very senior person from the legal fraternity, the person I happened during this assignment to talk, and they were saying there is only ADR law in the sense, and rest of the province is yet to develop that. So that is the level of the awareness even in our legal fraternity too. So to develop an ADR culture, we need rigorous awareness and advocacy campaign. And then more important is we are to do a need assessment, a mapping, what we actually require. We say ADR, but what ADR means, we are to differentiate different types and categories which comes under the umbrella of ADRs. It starts from mediation, it involves the conciliation, it goes through the arbitration, and then ends up to the court. So still what I have found, we have not been able to differentiate and assess what type of cases to go at which type of category. So if we look at the I must say, the cost of litigations and the quantum of justice involved in terms of in the disputes such as the family and inheritance, which could be settled at the mediation centers, they are also popping out before the courts and taking their considerable time and energy to decide it. So realizing all these issues and what we can do, Law and Justice Commission has taken an initiative under the auspices of Honorable Chief Justice of Pakistan. The project is approved, and it's very soon we are going to launch, and there will be concerted and coordinated efforts at the national level to institutionalize ADR in Pakistan. Islamabad High Court is taking the lead in this way. Punjab is also on its way, and we have to take on board with us KP and Balochistan and Legal Aid Society. I must appreciate they are doing wonderful in the province of Sindh. But this is something which is being done in their own jurisdiction. So that I must say a uniformity, a coordination which was missing at the national level, we are going to make sure that is developed very soon. And for that, our nominations for the committee, which comprises Honorable Justice of Supreme Court and Honorable Judges of the High Courts, that has been approved. And very soon we are going to issue the notification. But for this initiative and project, we look forward towards Ministry of Law, the provincial departments, our Pakistan provincial and district bar councils, our legal community, our executive, and even the public itself to cooperate to evolve this ADR culture. Otherwise, we will be down the road 5 or 10 years only be talking against on the thoughts and abstracts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Butt from the Law and Justice Commission. We've had a very great analysis of the existing ADR system by Justice Sardar Ijaz Isa Khan Saab in his 7 fallacies. I really enjoyed that presentation. Dr. Rahim has informed us about a possible initiative from the Ministry of Human Rights. And Dr. Quresh Khan has given us a very comprehensive overview of what's going on in KP. And I must say, it was very informative and very impressive. And it's something on which you could perhaps spend a whole day, because there is so much information there and so much to be learned from. Ms. Riffat, Inam, but thank you for that overview of how Law and Justice Commission may possibly be engaging with these. And now